Hello, this is Frosty510 with a Druid summon build guide. So, particularly the summoning skill tree and a build that sort of complements the strengths of the Druid. So, let's have a look at all the little animals. So, the Druid build, or the Zoo build, something that's changed with the updating in the start of season. I think it was season 1 when they brought in the update, allowing the druid to actually have all the summons out. So you got your ravens, which you could always have out. You got the wolves, the direwolves, and the bears, and of course the change to the stock standard spirit wolf, which is cold damage. So it adds a bit of diversity to the build as well. That's quite a positive thing. So now let's just go straight into the. This is an average build. All right, so I want to explain the build. Any plus skills you can get, and you're going to get those quite easy. Now I've got this particularly nice the Dark Land Crusher cudgel, which isn't a crazy hard to find item. So it's true to Druid skill levels. It has no faster cast rate or anything, so again, a spirit in this slot's always going to be better. But for a summoner, I don't need to worry about that. It's not a big deal. And then the 15 to life after each demon kill, that's fine. It's not a big deal. So just the skills. I have a Peasant Crown War Hat. Now I did get lucky to have this. So again, you can just do an Alt Soul, which is just 2 runes in a 2-socketed hat for a plus skill. The 20 to Vitality and 20 Energy, totally meaningless in this build. So one of the things you'll notice, I'll go to the stats. I've got plenty of Vitality. I don't need it. Now, the feature of this build, while you're a summoner, you're also a bear. And look at my health. When you're a bear, your health goes up dramatically. Let's go have a look at the bear skill. So shapeshifting is a vital part of this build, which I think it just really complements it. It's all your defense, your safety net, and also your method of attack. So with the Werebear transformation, you get increase the damage, increase the defense, and then you have Lycanthropy, which just does max life. So you only need 1 skill point on Lycanthropy, and so you need 1 on Werewolf. Then you've got 1 point on Werebear, 1 point on Maul, and 1 point on the most important skill for just control is Shockwave. So I'll show you what I mean. Better to demonstrate it. So while you're in Werebear form, your summons will still, they'll do all the damage. They'll kill everything. I have a Spirit of the Wolverine. If any enemy is causing me trouble, Shockwave. Simple. Very simple. I'm not trying to kill them with Shockwave. I can spam it. And with my current mercenary is using an Insight on the bow. And again, just crap. So lots of this equipment is just crap. It's not a big deal though. At this point in time, as a level 42, moving through Nightmare, resistance, my resistance is average. I could get much better charms. Don't worry about that. You're not going to get hit. If you're getting hit, you're doing the build wrong. The closest you want to get is for a Shockwave. Now you can stun, I think about 95% of the enemies in the game. So there are some you can't. Say like the Cow King, I can't stun it. Doesn't matter. Oh, crappy cap. The Jared Stone may give me some money. Okay, so I think that's pretty simple. The summons kill everything. If I get too close, Shockwave. Get too close to enemies, Shockwave. Shockwave, Shockwave, Shockwave. Shockwave, Shockwave, Shockwave. And then they just get the job done. Now, the other thing you'll be doing is summoning ravens. Now, the effectiveness of ravens will only increase. So the Raven is a great skill because it gets damage from everything else you're using. So you're pumping in your Spirit Wolf. Now I've balanced them at this point. So I'm getting plenty of Dire Wolf and Spirit Wolf. So again, let's go through the summons. So your Spirit Wolf does your cold damage, has plenty of life, gets life per level from Dire Wolf and damage from Grizzly. Grizzly gives damage to both of them and itself. So as soon as you get... Well, Spirit Wolf's pretty good too. And Dire Wolf's pretty good. As soon as you get to Grizzly, spam Grizzly. all your levels should be Grizzly to max. You can chuck a couple in Heart of the Wolverine. So this is sort of the debate. So if you have Oak Sage, this is a great assist thing for your team, giving you extra life. And if other people are running builds that aren't particularly that are a bit squishy, then giving them extra life is massive. So again, you want flexibility. I do have a couple of points into Oak Sage just for that, just in case. I was a bit worried about the build going in because I hadn't played Druid in a little while. So I thought maybe I need health. But then looking at it now, time saving. Heart of Wolverine is all about saving time. Just giving you damage and attack rating. It just enables your wolves and your bear. Bear in particular does a huge amount of damage, but you need your wolves doing consistent damage. It just gives them that bit of time. They just save time. So their health is really good. So this is probably one of the things that changes. I feel like it's a change just over the duration of Diablo 2 Resurrected. Is they've got so much health. He's got 552 on the Spirit Wolf. Direwolf 993. And the bear 3,000. And these aren't even maxed. Nowhere near it. Now if I chuck on Oak Sage, they'll have way more health. That'd be crazy amount of health. So, and my health's up to 1,033. So from 770. So there's that sort of, I think, the positive part of Oak Sage. Now, as for, let's go back to town. They can kill them. Is there anything going on the ground? Did I miss? Oh, whatever. I don't care. Oh, I might grab that. Grant. Grab that. Okay, back to town. Yes. Now, you do have to worry about positioning. So the big difference between a Druid and a Necromancer is a Druid summons can get caught on the strangest of things. I've had situations fighting Bale in Act 5, and the bear, it didn't make it round to the middle path where Bale spawns, and it didn't get involved in the final fight at all. So sometimes you'll have to resummon them. So that's kind of what the comfort of having insight, just for now. I'll get a better thing later. But maybe I'll get Rhyme, with the Thorns, or switch to a Act 2 mercenary and just do a totally different mercenary. Again, it just helps. Meditation helps. And you're playing with other people, which I always think is the most enjoyable. And having insight on a mercenary is always a positive in any group. Say, their mercenary dies or whatever. A shield I've got on, this is just garbage. You just got some res. I want to get of course, a better one. I'll get a spirit when it matters, later on. I've got just plus to skills on the amulet. Rings, res. Just trying to get res on rings. Don't worry about anything else. If I can get a Raven Frost and nullify freeze, that'd be fine. More res. I do have attack speed on here, but again, it doesn't really matter. Now, I do have this nice sharkskin belt, but it doesn't really suit this build in the slightest. The dexterity, of course, helping with chance to block, but not really relevant. You want faster run walk, but then a lot of the times when you have these zoo animals, they don't really follow very quickly, so you will get ahead of them, and then they'll probably respawn. It's kind of the most annoying part about the Druid animals is they lack a bit of impetus at times. So, and other times they do fight like a pack on their own. They're not really a pack, I'd say, the Spirit Wolves or the Dire Wolves. They don't coordinate terribly. So it's kind of one of the problems they've had. The teleportation of them has improved over the years. There's no question of that. But it just still feels like their AoE range, not AoE, targeting range. So aggro range is quite small. So you do have to, lead them to the targets. And that's where being a bear is so helpful, is again, you lead towards the targets, you shockwave, move back, and the dogs kill them. It's just a simple thing. I'll just do it one more time. Make sure it's really ironclad. This is just a simple way to play. Now, will anything change as you go through to hell? It's kind of the good thing about the Spirit Wolves is they have cold damage. It's one of the things, Shockwave's still effective in stunning enemies. So that's kind of your defense. Now the boss dudes be a bit trickier. So there's a couple options you can do, but the most important really is getting as high as many skill points as you can get. Because this is a build that relies on shapeshifting, having a whole bunch of skills, a whole bunch of plus skills to pop it up. So I've only got +4 at the minute on all skills. And only got, only +4. So that's barely anything. So you want to get some good Grand Charms. This won't be anything good. Poison damage. Alright. What's that one? What's that one? What's that set? Bloody shitty Infernal. God. So much trash. Yep, look. Oh, it's gone. That's gone too. Oh, what's the Taj? What's the Taj? Is it some... there's still plenty of reses. Oh, it's garbage. What's that? Oh, it's a socket one. No ability. Garbage. Okay, focus. Back to the stats. Nothing to worry about. As you go through, don't worry. You can get strength up to whatever you like. Enough to use decent armor. Again, the best part about this build, my armor is garbage because I don't get hit. Oh, goddamn. Shockwave is such a good ability. I know you can do full Shockwave builds, but again, it's a bit limited. It is a great ability for stun, and the stun length with being at just at level 5, 4 seconds. That's ages. Gives your dogs and your bear plenty of time to kill. It's one of the things, the time saving is the most important part about the summon build, because the damage is still here or there. I'm going to have to max Heart of Wolverine, max Grizzly, and then max both of these. And then it's really just a question of, do you pump more into Lycanthropy to get more health, or you chuck more into Werebear to get more defense? And it's kind of like, which one is more important, you staying alive, or you running a... Yeah, don't even bother with the vines. The Poison Creeper and that, they just die. I've never been a fan of the I feel like this is one part of the... This is a part of the game that could be improved tremendously, which is really just, you don't need to do too much. Just that Solar Creeper levels should boost... How much it heals? Life? Yeah, how about just life? Just the life of the vines. For both of them. Say for poison and for carrion. No, carrion would boost life. Solar would boost what? Something mana related. That's weird though. Doesn't really work, does it? Maybe just life as well. Maybe just life. They all boost life of each other. That would be a good idea. Because they need life. Because they die so quick. It's Poison Creeper just always gets targeted by mobs. It's not fair. You can chuck on... You can do some elemental stuff if you want to. But I just think focus on your summons. Focus on getting Grand Charms that have skills, which I don't have any on, which would be great to have. That would be tremendous. You're going to get a heap of them. Now, whether or not you get the physical Sunder Charm and put that on, I think that's definitely a good idea. Until, you get to some really nasty mobs in hell, and then it just tests your patience. So it may be something that you put in your Heraldric Cube and you bring out if you feel like you're in a good position. Again, places like Arcane Sanctuary... Oh, shit. I'll show you what I mean. So there's the big problem with the summons is you can't... Well, on console in particular, positioning where they get summoned is really, really important. And it's kind of one of the things that you just sort of... I find I just stop doing. I just let them go wherever the heck they want. And that's the wrong way to play. You have to take into account that you need the buddy summons. The Ravens are great too, because they actually, their aggro range is really wide, so they can just go off the screen and just go attack stuff. But again, like any, like Necromancer has similar issues with just moving packs in tight terrain. It's quite challenging. Weaknesses to elements, something that you feel like Necro has a counter for. The counter on summons here is life. They just have way more life. Again, you're going to get more Necro skill type things, and you can, balance it. You can always counter that. But it's just the ease of summon, being that you don't need to use corpses, really makes them feel a little bit less punishing to lose than a Necromancer, where if you lose your good monsters when you want to revive. You have to go back and grab the ones you need. It's kind of a... It's a nice thing about the summon. It's got to have that compensation. But it did, again, in the original one where you could only have the bear, like that was the only way to go. it did feel, you know, so it was so average before, but now it's good. But it's still, this is the problem here, is I run ahead, they have to teleport to me, and then, oh, I'm getting attacked. So I switch to bear form, can stun things. You can stun most things. Now, the thing is, I still do damage with Shockwave, so it is worthwhile to just spam it. But look at these, terrible. Look at this. They've all been colded, they've got no immunity to, no cold res. 2, 3, 4, 5. But you're just going to have to use the level difference. I mean, that's... In hell, I'm worried. that's how I'm going to put it. So there are weaknesses to the build. That is so obvious. It's... I feel like... Yeah, but I do have to say that there is tremendous issues when it comes to late game elemental stuff. So it's going to be about how much you can pump up your skill. You have to get as many skillers as possible. Grand charms. Now, the best thing about the build is that if you want to trade for them, you'll get them easy. Because people don't value skillers for the summoning skill tree for druids. They just don't. They just do not have the value. Elemental ones, huge. Summoning, who wants that? So you will be able to get good deals. So I feel like this is where you don't have to worry so much. Now, one of the things I do want to show is I do have some late game Druid armor. That's... I want to all skills ghost armor with the ethereal is fine because you don't get hit often. If you can manage, again, when you go against tougher mobs in hell, then maybe you want to switch. But you just want skills, as many skills as you can get. So again, you can need the Hodos and all that stuff. You know all that. That's fine. This is a budget. The rarest thing I've got is really, I suppose, the hat. And that's fine. You can do an alt soul. You can substitute that. That doesn't matter. This one's not that rare. You can find these. You can trade for these too, because they have value up until a certain point. So they have no cast rate. So again, the elemental guys don't need them. You'll find plus amulets. Now, I do have more amulets here. I want to show you. I've got plus 3 to summoning skills amulets for level 45. So, and I've got an elemental one I'm not using. You can get plus 3 to summoning skills amulets. I'd say not too hard to get, especially if you ask and you've got friends who play. You'll be able to. If you don't, it doesn't matter. You can trade for them. You can always get summon skills. Someone makes a caster amulet, and they get summon skills. They'll be like, "Oh, this is a piece of shit." And if you say you want that, maybe they'll come and drop one on for you. Then I'll go, no, I'll just have it because it's garbage. And then for you, it's not garbage. Anything else here of value? The helmet, I've got 2 to Druid skills here. Once I get to level 43, I'll swap that in. So I do have that sort of planned ahead. And then I'll put that on some other low level character. I do think I might switch to the Act 2 Mercenary and run the Insight and then pick an aura. But I'm not too worried. Because if anything, Holy Freeze probably has the most value, slowing them down. But I just stun everything with Shockwave. So maybe just Blessed Aim, increase attack rating. But then I've got Heart of Wolverine, does increase attack rating. So, and I'll chuck this helmet on the Mercenary as well, because it might be nice. Give him a chance for Deadly Strike. And I've just got a bunch of garbage here. So yeah, I've rambled on and on. But it doesn't matter how much... If you focus all on Spirit Wolf and then you say, I got one on Dire Wolf, and then you get your Grizzly, and then you pump Grizzly, that's fine. The Dire Wolves are better because they're doing straight damage opposed to cold damage. So it does sort of... You feel like tempted just spam everything into Dire Wolf, but I did want that even balance because you get the life per damage per level. So it gives you attack rating from Spirit Wolf and gives the attack rating. The attack rating, it does and doesn't matter. So it's kind of... Because I've got Heart of Wolverine running... They got plenty of attack rating. They're okay. Only when we get to them all maxed and Hard Wolverine maxed at about 80, 70 or 80, then I'll worry about attack rating. But again, they're okay. They hit. The problem is really just elemental resistance. Your really tough bosses who are immune to being stunned by Shockwave, they're your problems. So you can stun everything in bear form. Get some more bears. Stunning everything with Shockwave is just... It's just such an awesome ability. So it's not like... And it hits so many. It's crazy how many it hits. It's just crazy. It's a crazy ability. Absolutely crazy. So yeah, skillers, whatever plus skills you can get. Oh, the Wolverine got be careful of your spirit, because they die pretty easy, because they put themselves in stupid positions. So they quite often go off on their own, and their positioning has always been awful. Like, you know, the normal summons for Druid are crap positioning, but the spirit is just... I don't know. Oh yeah, so I can take a few hits. Nothing too special. But yeah, it's just so nice, because you have everything. They can't do anything. Once they're stunned, they just can't do jack. If anything, you could pump Shockwave even more, just for more comfort, or you could go the full. Maybe you just get to Grizzly to full and Heart of Wolverine to full, and then you just focus on Shockwave Maul and just try and do like as much damage as you can with Shockwave. You could do that if you wanted to, as for a hybrid build, but you know, that's up to you. There's flexibility. You can do elemental skills. I think probably the best elemental skill to go for, maybe you just go Fissure. And then you just do your fire. Then you just do, yeah, Volcano, Firestorm. Just a Fissure probably be a simple choice. Arctic Armor, you don't need it. So I just go in here, stun everything. Everything's stunned. Just wait for the, summon some more Ravens. Yeah, it's pretty simple. And if you want to do this until... Now, do I think that this is a good way to level and then you can switch to something else? Probably not. Elemental skills is just far superior. So it's superior in damage and time. So the problem with the summon thing is your damage is just... It's just not enough. You need a lot of skills to get real good damage. Because I feel like the enemies scale enough that it just takes so long. I mean, this is only normal. And they're 2 hitting, 3 hitting. They're not one-shotting. The bear is one-shotting. Let's have a look. If I don't stun them. The cold ones cold them. Again, that's why Holy Freeze I feel like doesn't have as much value, because the Spirit Wolves will, you know, put cold status effect on these dudes anyway. I'll get a better shield, better elemental resistances, but I'm not getting hit. So, just hang back. Oh, that's a crown shield. Is that any good? 3-socketed, but only 5 resistance. It's garbage. So I've shown plenty of gameplay, because I feel like in this particular build, the way you play is more important than, say, what equipment you've got, because you can have no plus skills and still it's fine. It's just that the skill plus really helps boost Shockwave in terms of the stun duration and just boosting up your lycanthropy and your werebear, so you just more safety. So it's a very safe build, very slow in comparison to elemental skills, but I mean, it's okay. It's just slow because they're bloody slow wolves. They're wolves, but they just sort of just go, ooh, let's just walk. Look at them. Look how slow these dudes are. The mercenary, she's running. Having, I'll say the mercenary. I've got Ice Shot on because it's just a great safety. Again, it's more safety. Okay, I'm going to go to this yellow ring and see what that is. You guys kill that while I'm just busy. Alright, what we get? We get... garbage. Yeah. Summon your ravens. Shock them. Shock all the enemies. You can kill them with shock. You can just spam it. Because as soon as an enemy can be shockwave stunned, as soon as they can be stunned, you can just spam it. So it's like Warcry? No, Battle Cry? Warcry. You know, the singing barb, you know, where you can stun them. It's not as annoying as that, I feel. But you get the bonus, all the other bonuses with that. But this is on just, you have your companions with you, you always have support, you got your animal buddies, you know. It's great, it's on character, thematically it's quite good. You have an aura, so you're not, you know, missing an aura. You can run the Act 2 Mercenary and then do all sorts of stuff. You can do prayer if you're worried about them dying. You can get them like, some health regeneration. Performance issues, I haven't had any. In the old thing, I think it was okay. So again, the limit of ravens used to be not a limit of 5. You could have a lot more than that. So they did change that because people are doing raven builds, which are really powerful. When done right, of course, with the right equipment and enough skills, you can make every build good. Let's go back to town. Anything I haven't covered? Stats, you don't need energy. I think base size 20, 30, 45, yeah, there's nothing there. Don't get hit. That's quite simple. 1 point all these, 1 point these. You can go without the lycanthropy and you don't have the increase to max health. You can, if you got the right equipment, you don't need that. But whether or not it makes a huge difference in the end, because really it's the bonus to damage you get from Summon Grizzly that is of the greatest value to the other, your Spirit Wolves and your Dire Wolves. So really Grizzly's the focus. Heart of Wolverine, again, you get plenty of damage, but yep, you can do that, or you can be more safe and Oak Sage. So it just takes longer. So it's such a slow killing build that you'll feel that massive difference. Anything else? Mercenary, you can do what you like. I'm not too worried. You can do a Barbarian if you wanted to, and just run as much damage as you want, and just have it just go in there and tear things to shreds. And then you could run Oak Sage, and maybe that sort of balances out. All my equipment's trash, or sort of trash. But yeah, resistances, but you don't need them unless there's big AoE effects. Like a perfect example would be Diablo in Act 4 when he does his big attacks. You want to dodge them. Just dodge them, please. Yes, any giant flame attacks, dodge them. Easier said than done, but it is what it is. Yeah, so this is the zoo build, the summoning druid, budget summoning druid. Yeah, I hope you enjoy it. It's a really fun, and it's just a bit slow at times. I mean, it's good. I think the best experience I had with the Druid build was playing with a Necromancer, and we had 2 massive armies of minions all over the place, and we were just cleaning everything up on a bail run, and it was just funny to see. Yeah. So I hope the Druid build in Diablo 4 is good. I'm not sure what they're going to do with the summons, because there's more mobility, so I don't know if they're going to have more skills for you can choose to, draw your summons back to you and that sort of stuff. I'm interested to see what they do with summoning in Diablo 4, but yeah, it's all just speculation there. So yeah, this has been Frosty 10. This has been a budget druid build with some completely trash armor because you don't get hit, so you don't need to worry about getting hit. You're all good, protected by the power of nature, which again they could probably do a lot more with. Where's your ant? Summon a tree, come on. That'd be pretty sick. Alright. Where's a good screen to leave it on? Just leave it there. That's good. Okay. Frosty 10, like and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.